What's going on? It's September 12th, 2025, and God is here. He's right in front of us, and He's always been here. More importantly, He's inside of us, where all our feelings, our thoughts, and anything else that goes on, it's all happening.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Where is Willie Street? Willie Street?
Wilson?
Yeah, Wilson Street.
Yeah. It's a one-way street.
I need this job. Reliable home care. We're going to reliable home care.
The what?
The reliable agency, reliable home care.
I don't know that.
Okay, but the Winston Street is this way.
Wilson Street, yeah, it goes down like that.
And on that one way,
Yeah. You have to go down here and go back. Yeah.
somewhere to back.
Yeah.
Anywhere around
Mm, yeah. Yeah.
nice day.
Have a nice one. Yeah, all the origins of everything. Your thoughts, your emotions. We'll cut down here actually. Your feelings. They all happen inside of you. So you can actually feel God, or God is inside of you too. Second. He's simply keeping you alive, and he's the structure of the whole world. And it's actually an invisible being that manifests himself, itself, into forms. So we just can't see it. We see the forms, but we don't see the life that actually holds it all together. And God is already everywhere and is everything. More importantly, somebody was asking me something. More importantly, he's inside of us. We don't have to go nowhere to feel him. And we really don't have to search outside of us to feel him. Because as we just stated, all our feelings and everything we've ever experienced, we've experienced it internally. And we might not see God, but the thing is, We can actually feel him. We can actually feel him inside of us. And that's the only thing that really matters. Everything we take in from the inside. Because life, people misquote, or they don't really understand what life is. Because when we put a word to something, and then when we discuss it, you kind of go further from what it is. So what life is, yeah, we can describe how to feel him in a second. What life really is, it's nothing to really think about. It's actually something that you feel, and it's the life inside you, and it's the life inside of a tree. You know the tree has something inside of it. Same thing with the dog. And that's why they call God, that's why they say he is everything. And that's why they say he is life. Because life itself is its own entity, which is God. And it is in everything. Where do you feel it? Can you describe, let's go back. How do you feel God inside of you? Well, I just gave a YouTube short about this, and it's been a real easier one. First of all, it's already there. It is the feeling and the pulse of life. So you already can feel him. This isn't not anything confusing. I like to get straightforward to it. We don't have to beat around the bush like everyone does. And what was the question? Sorry. How do you feel it inside of you? It's already there. First, see that you are the one having the thoughts. So you aren't the thought itself. It's actually happening to you. You are the one having a thought. You are the awareness of a thought. And so you're seeing your thought. You're not actually the thought. That's something first that you will discover. Yeah. God is experiencing itself through you. Yeah. Yeah, it is. There's a bunch of words, but every word is the same thing. Yeah. So when you see stuff like people that have like evil symbols, such as the swastika, The swastika, everything really comes from one thing. So all these bad symbols that you see, they were taken from good symbols. You were just told they were meant something else. Yeah. Yeah. So what to actually feel God, and you don't have to believe in God, you actually have to stop thinking and quiet your mind. It's the only thing and the reason that you can't feel the life inside of you. Simply, you can't think and feel the life inside of you at the same time. It's impossible. So you're either feeling the life that you are, which is life itself. You basically become life itself. Instead of thinking about whatever you're thinking about, you become still, which is life. Life is stillness. And then you merge with life itself. There is no more you. There is no more identity. And you're not thinking about any problems. So most people don't, and it's not, you can say feeling God, but you're also feeling the life force that you are. It's it's simply a non-thinking entity. And while a lot of people want to go back to being a baby because you weren't thinking then and you were just feeling the life that you are. All the ancient practices, yeah. And except it's not for everyone. Yeah, the comments are coming really fast. Yeah. Well, you just gotta, even if you think about it, every time that you want to experience something, whether it's sex, which is a big one, anytime you go and do an activity, your mind, it wants to feel something. You always want to feel something. And usually, well, always, you want to feel your best. Who doesn't want to feel their best? Now, a lot of people think they have to get something externally or complete some activity, but it doesn't matter what you do externally because you're coming back to feeling internally. Everything you've ever did and thought of, it always happens internally. So every time you have sex or whatever you try to do, an activity, you want to feel your best. You can feel the best inside of you right now without thinking about nothing, which is the hardest part, and without doing any activity. You don't need to do an activity. Yeah. Hey, if you're smiling and if you're happy, then you're almost there. Trying to go back on some of these. Yeah. Realistically, nothing exists outside of you, and there's no way to tell me anything exists, because you would just name it, but it didn't have a name. What was it before its name? You're just telling me through words, but nothing really exists. And how could you fundamentally say that it exists? Yeah. Having ADHD, Jonah, is one of the worst things to have. Because when you think too fast, eventually it pisses you off. 99% of people that are thinking, they get pissed off because they don't want to think anymore. Everybody wants to stop thinking. It's the reason why you do any activity. Simply, when you stop the mechanical thinking, you begin to feel. You feel the life that you are. And there's nothing, it is everything. There's nothing outside of that. Life is the experience. Yeah. When you begin thinking so much, you want to stop thinking. It makes you want to vomit. It pisses you off. Yeah. It aggravates you. That's because you're not meant to do all this thinking. You're overstimulated and you're paying too much attention as if the thoughts are actually you. Yeah. Yeah. People who definitely don't like to think. Yeah. All your thoughts, they're already here. They're already existing, but you think your thoughts are yours. They're actually not. They're already here before you were even thinking them. They just entered you. And that's why you and someone else can think the same thing at the same time. Because the thought is not inside your head, it's actually outside of you. And when the thought does enter your head, you think it becomes you. You actually become your thought. You think it is you. Simply, you're just misidentifying. Meaning, if I'm thinking I'm alive, that's if you're aware of your thinking. Yeah. Wow. You guys must be like best friends. Yeah. But there's no thinking required. There's no thinking about breathing. So the joke ends up being on you. There's no thinking about your heartbeat, about what happens when your food, when you eat it. There's no thinking when you go to sleep. And God is just the feel of life. And most people actually get into this, but they're not aware. They're not aware when they're not thinking. But they do become aware when they are thinking, but they become the thought. Yeah, only you can save yourself from your mind. That is true. The best feeling in life is when you stop thinking about it. Because you want to feel something. You want to feel life. The reason why you do any activity is for you to be so involved in the activity that you stop thinking about it. Yeah. And you can think I'm thinking all you want, but the answers are actually just coming into me. It's different from the thinking that you're used to. And I'm completely aware of anything that does come in as a thought. Yeah. You think you're different from people. It's only because you think that. When your mind goes crazy, when you think too much, it makes you delusional. And this is where an evil person develops. A negative person, anybody who isn't happy. And why someone isn't happy? Because they don't feel the life that they are. It's always there. It's always pervading. People think they know everything. Then they get off the internet and they live a miserable life. Yeah, Jonah, it sounds like you're going to get off the internet and be really upset. You are the life inside of you, and you thinking about it and keep thinking about it, you'll see that it causes tension inside of you. And you're going to get sick of it. And it's going to stay on your mind. And you're going to be identified with it. And eventually, you're going to be sad. So sad because you can't escape. Everybody wants happiness. Everybody wants to feel loved. And when people don't feel happiness, which is really their own choice, and when they don't feel love, they go do everything else and everything they can to feel love. uh, make rapid comments, do crazy stuff in their life. Because everybody wants to feel the best. That's what everybody's trying to do. And it's simply dissociating from your thoughts. Stop thinking and feeling the life that you are. Whatever that you think, it's better to switch it to a positive so you feel positive from it. And positivity is God. So when you have positive thoughts or you change them to positivity, then your life becomes positive. And even more so, your true intention It's always going to show. It doesn't matter if other people see it. It's going to show up in your life, and you're going to see it. Yeah. Uh, yeah. You always want to feel something, and there's nothing outside of you. Yeah. God is already inside of us. It's the life inside of us. And it's so subtle. You have to slow down your mind. And you have to bring it to a complete stop. Yeah. Once you know the language, things are clear. Yeah. Well, the thing about them two is, yeah, basically, they're just going to be upset. That's why they're spazzing out in the messages. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Really, everything happens, it comes through you. All your emotions, your thoughts, and you just have to become aware. This actually is the message of Jesus Christ and of God. Because when you become aware of what's going on and how you feel, how everything makes you feel, then you know how stuff makes you feel. Whereas before, when you had a thought or someone caused something to you, you just reacted and you were unconscious. Most people are not aware of how things are making them feel, and they're not aware of their own thoughts. This is why most people are unconscious. Because they're not feeling things, and they're reacting so fast. Their mind is reacting so fast that they're not even aware of what's going on. So if someone steps on your shoe, or if someone hits your car, like let's just say you got a dent in your car, you just immediately get mad. So if someone stepped on your shoe let's say you had a new shoe and you're in the mall, someone steps on it, you immediately just punch the person or you defend yourself. That is the unconscious state, and that could go to all the way up to killing somebody. There's no limit to that. Now, if someone steps on your shoe and you take a step back, oh wow, it's not really a big deal. It doesn't matter at all. The same thing with your car being hit and having a dent. Nothing really matters at all. It only matters when you put value to it. And usually when you put value to something, you're still unconscious when you're doing it. You're making it negative. Life itself is a positive thing. God itself is a positive thing. Only your mind, can negate it, negotiate, and turn that to a negative. Only you can turn it to a negative. No one else can. It doesn't matter what it is. So it's just the way you value something. But it's you who are doing the valuing. You are being judgmental when you get negative. That's what's happening. So let's just say someone dies. Dying is not a bad thing. Okay? You're just labeling it bad. Other people have labeled it bad, maybe to scare you. That's why they labeled it. Now, they labeled it to scare you or whatever. That's their thought and opinion of dying. But it's actually all positive. There's no resisting death. Because, first of all, our spirit, it never dies. It's impossible. Only the body can die, not the actual spirit of you. Because life is forever living. Life is forever living. So when something dies, and people, things are dying every day, it's going to happen. Everyone's going to die. Their body's going to die. Your thought's going to die. But you, the feeling of life, this feeling never dies. So basically, you keep living life until you leave your mind, until you feel the life that you are, and stay in this. Because then you live on forever. That's the paradox. We are meant here to leave the mind. But as long as you're stuck in the mind, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck. You're not going to know. Hello, phony. She was kind of ugly. Yeah. The best thing about life is not about thinking of it. You'll see that it's a never-ending process, you're thinking, if you haven't seen it already. It's actually feeling the life that you are. Because it's merely who you are. There's nothing outside of that. All life around you is the fundamental feeling of aliveness. Yeah. You can definitely be a dragon, Navu. Yeah. You can definitely be a dragon. Um, you can do this. There are multiple ways to do it. You can do it. It takes concentration, though. Or you could say a focus. You could actually go into a dragon, whether it's on this world or a different, when you're basically when you're sleeping or in the spiritual world. Yeah, but you can transfer your consciousness into any living thing. Yeah. It's not an easy thing for most people to do. Yeah, you probably once were a dragon, Navu. Yeah. I do believe dragons once existed on this plane. Yeah. For sure. In fact, there's old stories about them too. Yeah. You could not be a dragon? It's not true. You most definitely can. It's only when you say you can't. Simple as that. If someone says they can't run a marathon, or let's just say run a mile, then they're not going to do it. They're going to have no inclusion to do it. But if you say you can run a mile, and even though you're fat or feel real lazy, you can still actually, you know, perpetuate yourself and go run the mile. And we've all seen this. When you tell yourself no, then it's not going to happen. Only to you, it's not going to happen. And in the spiritual world, after you leave this body and where you're naturally from, you can most definitely become a dragon. Yeah. This world is just it's a limited world. That's why it is a world in itself. Where's your proof? I was born the year of the dragon. Yeah, she was kind of ugly. Just said she was kind of ugly. Yeah, you were born the year of the dragon. Why do you think that's a real thing? Why would someone say that? Yeah. Yeah. It, if humans exist in context dragons can, I'm not sure what you meant by that. Yeah. If if you were born into a dragon, you wouldn't be able to you probably the consciousness of you wouldn't be able to move into a human being, and you wouldn't know you were a dragon, if that makes sense. The thing about being a human being is you have the possibility to become conscious of what you actually are. Animals basically are unconscious. They can't become conscious of what they really are. Okay? Yeah, and the human being is just made like that. It's just why we stand up. The concept of humans is as real as dragons. Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think all these video games, do you think they just made dragons up? Yeah, and like She Was Kind of Ugly said, there's been sighting of dragons. They may not be, they may almost be extinct. They probably are. A lot of stuff, as the world changes, becomes extinct. Yeah. But to prove it, you got to understand, it takes you won't actually, like, you can become the dragon. It takes you need to be really concentrated. Most people don't have that. Most people don't. It takes a real focus to do it. So it's not something as easy as 1, 2, 3, unless you have that focus. Yeah. I mean, to a degree, everything exists. Yeah. That's why when you go to sleep, you have these wild imaginations. When you're a kid, you have wild imaginations. Is it real? Who's to say it's not? But yeah. It's not as easy as, oh, I'm just thinking about a dragon. But if you get so caught up, just like you have a dream, you're not thinking in your dream, okay? If you actually think about your dream, you're not thinking in your dream. And you know this. You can think about it. Because I've had many of dreams, and none of them I was thinking in. But the dream became so real. Did you ever have a dream become so real? Well, in the same context, if you can, it's very, I made it sounds easy, but for most people it's not. If you would think about a dragon hard enough, you could actually become it and see what it's like. But it's not, first of all, in India, they have certain things where you can transfer your consciousness into a monkey, into a crow. They do this in India. You can go there and do it yourself if you really want to know. If you really want to know. They do it. So do the Native Americans. But you can also do it without actually entering the being. It's crazy, I know. It's just like a dream where the dream feels so real. It's the same thing, like you would imagine a dragon, it would be so real that you actually would feel it, if that makes sense. And it's really beyond the thought. because you actually become it and experience it. And when you're experiencing it, you're not thinking about it. Yeah, the Han Newman. Yeah, it's a yeah, but it the Native Americans, you can search it up. They become like snakes. They actually transfer their consciousness into the snake. But they usually use like drugs, whatever Native American stuff there is. Okay? People aren't going to believe you. So don't go running and tell everybody this. Yeah. Um, Native shamans. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. God created everything. So whether we once experienced something, we can experience everything. Yeah. Yeah. You call it schizophrenia. Some people call it a genius. It doesn't really matter what you think to me, but you're allowed to think whatever you want. Why am I laughing? I find everything a little bit funny. And I've always been this way. Yeah. And how bright is the screen? It's like, we'll go a different way. Yeah, yeah. You play the limit that the video game gives you. Yeah. This life is made to be to perceive that we have limits, but the consciousness, the invisible life force that you are, well, it is everything. It is life itself, so it can manifest into anything. Yeah. Like, what do you think you were before you came into this body? Yeah. How did this phone come to be? How are we all watching each other right now? How did Charlie Kirk actually die? Well, what happened to him? His life left the body. And that was just his name. Hey, boss. He's still alive. He's just not alive as Charlie Kirk. He's just alive as the entity of life. And when you die, it's not accidental. That's just the word. You're always going to die. First of all, you're always going to die. There's no question. Your form is going to die. Your physical form. But the thing is I forgot what I was going to say there. You seen your video on girls who wear makeup? Yeah, I like that one. Jesus, I definitely had it. Yeah. But everybody's going to die. That's what I was going to say is there's no accident when you die. God decides that. And so when you die, you are actually meant to die at that exact time. And do you see how it's not a good thing? It is a good thing. But do you see how it's not a bad thing? So Charlie Kirk dying, I made the video last night if you want to go watch it. He died because he was supposed to die. It's not a devilish thing. It's not a bad thing. He fulfilled his life's duty. Whatever that it was. There's a reason why you're not dead yet. Yeah. Jesus definitely had it. Yeah. We are all children of God. And again, we are not the thought of our reality. We are actually just the feel of reality. Reality has a fundamental vibration, and it's very subtle. It's when your mind is still, and that's what God really is. He's pure stillness. And we can feel the feeling of reality in itself. It has a fundamental feel. It's not a conceptual thing. And it's who you really are. That's why they have people like, what's his name? Albert Einstein. Oh, energy's not created or destroyed. Yeah, that's just like a fancy way that they let out. Like, it's the same thing they say in the Bible. You're neither created or destroyed. Because you're just life itself. Only your mind begins to think it's something else. Yeah. Oh, Sad Boy Beats. I don't know why your name, sometimes like it has a different name when you comment on YouTube. Like, not just you. Like Zao Zao John or something. Yeah. Life is really meant to be a happily experience. Or so we get to be living a happily experience. The whole reason you have a negative experience or negative thoughts, because you haven't realized, well, the whole reason for this is so you become to the positive side. You see your real nature. So the reason you have anything negative in your life is because you categorize it as negative, but it's actually trying to bring you to the positivity. That's why everything is really positive if you can see it that way. Yeah. Yeah, the aliens have already been here. Yeah. I mean, I think we look like aliens ourselves. You have to really look at somebody without thinking about it to see. And while we may have more contact, I know that's a big thing they're talking about. We've always had contact with aliens. But it may be on a grander scale. It may be on in the public more, so to speak. Yeah. Aliens are not here to hurt us. That's just something, they want you to be scared of it. The aliens are not allowed to come here physically. Like, they're not allowed to cause destruction physically. Yeah. And we're always protected, you know. Again, nothing can ever hurt you. You can only fear in your own mind. That's where the fear comes. Lots of idiots. That's just what you think. And you can think whatever you want. Yeah. A grain of sand is God. Yes, it is. It wouldn't exist if we couldn't see it. Again, everything that we see is living in some type of a way. It may not be like us, but most definitely the water, it's moving, it's living. And they've done experiments on this too, so I'm not just making this up. The trees itself, they grow. They grow and grow. So there has to be something living inside of them. Yeah. As small as a mustard seed? Yeah. Mustard seeds are really small, sad boy beats. Yeah. The thing is, it doesn't matter what you do. It matters, are you having fun? And is this like truly what you want to be doing? Yeah. Most people just act like they're having fun on social media. Even like the superstars and celebrities. But a lot of them are faking. A lot of them are faking it. Yeah. That's why they don't come. That's why you never see them. You see them like once in a lifetime. Yeah. Yeah, the only idiots is taking things serious. Exactly. Like life is a delusion where you're meant to think it's serious, which a lot of people do. But it's not really. When you feel the life inside of you, it's so funny. It's so much happiness. You'll never get this happiness outside of you. You could have sex every day. You could take the strongest potent drug. You will never, all that stuff will die down. You can't have sex 24/7. You're not supposed to. You have to eventually stop. Same with the drugs. Because the greatest feeling, in any feeling that you ever feel, it comes from within inside of you. This world is basically made for God to test you, your faith. Oh, you want to get caught up in all these distractions? Have fun at the circus. But eventually you're going to be like, hold on. I've done this before. Or you're going to question life. Oh, there's something more to this. And then you're going to begin to realize, oh, what I'm searching for and what I want to feel is not actually external. The forever happiness, it begins with me. There's nothing wrong with taking drugs. I have nothing against them. There's nothing wrong with sex. In fact, you could realistically have as much sex as you want. But know the feeling, it starts within you. And it's always there. It's when you actually suffer from the things you do. That's why a lot of these corn stars, they're like, oh, I was forced into doing it, and they regret their choices because they get sick of it. They realize something in them is realizing, hey, this is not the thing that I should be doing. Yeah, but everybody's living their life. Yes, you can. You can have it, Lego. You already have it, Lego. You already have it. And so does everyone else. I'm never getting I'm never getting a haircut. Nice to see you, Lego. Yeah. The peace, you will never find peace outside of you. Even if you're in the middle of a war, it starts with inside of you. And that's where it ends. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. That's a cool name.
She is. She's not always. Yeah, she's a Bernadoodle.
Yeah. The peace, what people think they need to search through the peace. The peace is you're resisting. Yeah. You're always the peace. When you're not allowing something which you're trying to control, oh no, you can't do that. You can warn somebody, but it's when you create the resistance, oh no, you can't do that. So your fundamental nature is so peaceful. And this is where you're trying to really go. Your fundament and when you reach this level of peaceness, which it's right there, then you automatically become the happiest you'll ever be. They go hand in hand. Yeah. Justin is a gladiator. If there's nothing wrong with shaving, we might end it after that. Yeah. You are fundamental happiness. It's only when you block it or when you don't express it that you think you're not happy. It's who you are, though. And there's nothing wrong with shaving. If you feel that you have to or someone requires, that's totally up to you. Yeah. Was sick as Justin. Yeah. But you do have a choice. I mean, if you feel like your job wants you to shave, but if you feel you don't want to shave, then that's the feeling of, hey, I got to go somewhere else. No one, to be honest, no one should be telling you to cut your hair or shave. Yeah. That's, on my end, that's real effed up. Yeah. I know about that. Even society has a thing where they developed like, oh, you're uncleanly if you don't shave. That's just a thought. Yeah. The Native Americans, they actually, I don't necessarily promote this, but they say lice to the Native Americans. They say it's a good thing. They say lice is a good thing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a newer shirt, but it's actually probably one of my newest ones. It's not real fabric though. Yeah, and sometimes and I like to get like real, real materials. So it's it definitely is like has a nice design. I used to like really be into like clothes, kind of like set my own fashion in a way, but I don't really care about clothes anymore as much. Yeah. Not as much as I once did. I I do like natural clothes though, and yeah. Ironically, when it gets cold, I do like having, you know, wearing extra clothes. Like I do like having the feel of a jacket. You know. Actually, when I put my hair in certain ways, it feels a little different. Yeah, it just feels different. It feels different than having no hair, basically. And I mean, I like getting my head shaved. I like that too. Don't get me wrong. I just like this more. Yeah. That's not the reason I have it though. Yeah. Thank you all for being here. I love all you guys. Don't take anything too seriously. I'll be here tomorrow morning, Saturday, Sunday, in the AM early. Yeah. Just remember, whatever happens, see it as a positive. See how fast you can see it as a positive. And do stuff and go the way that's going to bring you happiness towards your life. Everybody's a little bit different. And if you don't like something in your life, that means you just want to change it and you want to find something that better suits you. See it as a positive. Your ego mind takes you to places you don't want to be. That's what ends up happening when you realize it. But what you actually feel and want to express, that's where your happiness lies. Yeah. Feel the life inside of you. Life is fundamentally a feeling. Our reality is a feeling-based reality, not emotions, but we feel. And it's not really a thinking reality as most people perceive it. Yeah. I'll see all you guys soon. Uplift other people. It's what you're here for. It costs you nothing. And you'll even feel better. I'll see you guys soon. Have the best Friday of your life.